In this video, I'm going to illustrate CIS18A Unit 1, Assignment 1, Number 6. And Number 6 asks you to write a Java program that calculates and displays the area of the room. The area is length times width, given that the length of the room is 18 feet and the width is 12 feet. The program should include appropriate variable declaration, assignment and use of operators, provide the code and the screen capture of the program successfully compiled as your answer. So we need to do screen capture, and you can also include the code if you like, or take a screen capture of your code. And if you want additional tutorial, also see my Lab 1 instructions video for how to install JDK and compile program using JDK. So to start, we would write our program, and I'm using Windows PC, so I'm using Notepad. You're welcome to use IDE. I'm not using an IDE, so I simply use a text editor that comes equipped with my operating system. And once I open up Notepad, I can put in my comments, and you can do a single line comment using the double slash, or you can do a block comment or multi-line comment like this using the slash and asterisk, closing it with the asterisk and slash. I first declare my class, and I choose to use area as my class name. So I define my class area, and you wanted to use a capital letter here by practice. Start the curly brace. I have my main method, and in my main method I would start declaring and initializing my variables. So the first variable I have is the length. As the question or the problem has given us that the length of the room is 18 feet. So that will hold integer. The length variable is holding integer, whole number is, and it's assigned 18. So here we have the declaration of our variable length, and we assign it 18. Finish it out with a semicolon. Now on the next line, I have another variable called width. It's holding integer, and based on the problem, I'm giving 12 feet. So we initialize that at 12 and finish that statement with a semicolon. Third, I have a third variable called area, and this is going to store the calculation of the room area, and that's also going to hold the integer. So this is type int for the area. And so when you declare your variable in Java, make sure that you include the type and the variable name. And if you assign values to that variable, you simply use an equal sign and then give it a value and finish that with a semicolon. So here I have 3 variables, and next we're going to do the calculation. Since we already declared the area variable, we would use it for our calculation. Area is length times width, and we have given length its value, which is 18. We initialize it at 18, and width we initialize that at 12. So length times width is going to be the area. Now after it calculates, we want to display it. So here we use the asterisk for the multiplication, that's the operator. So after that, we would go ahead and display, and here is when we print. And for Java, we need to do this entire thing to be able to output text. So system.println, this is ln, and then in the parameter, we want to include the string and make sure we use double quotation marks. So here what I have is I have the total area is, and then I would use the plus sign, and we would have the variable name from the calculation part plug in here, and then we would say feet. So at this point we would conclude our program. So we would close out the curly brace for the block, And then we would also close out the curly brace for our class. And once we're done, we're going to go ahead and go File, Save As. And I have a folder on my desktop called Java. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to first make sure that it's going to be all file types. And I wanted to name my Java file, this program, the same name as its class name. So area.java. And that's important. You have to make sure that it's the same name as how you define your class. And make sure it's .java. Click Save. Then to compile this, I would open up my command prompt. And to do that, you simply search for command prompt or type in CMD in your search bar for Windows. And it would take me to the default path for C. So I wanted to change the directory to my desktop and to that folder. So I would do CD desktop. And I have a Java folder created to store my program, so I need to navigate to that by changing to that directory. And if you don't have the folder, then you would create that folder and put it in there. Make sure that you change to that folder directory. So I would do CD, and this is the folder that I have. And that file that I just wrote is stored in this folder. Once I'm in the folder, I would issue the javac command and my file name, which is area.java. Now, if you receive error here in red, that means that possibly could be some syntax error. So you would go back and take a look at your program and fix the mistake. Look for things that are missing or mistyped. There might be some typos, so go back and fix it. If there's nothing that appears here, that means that it compiled successfully. Once I issue the javac command and compiled it successfully, I would run the program by using Java area with no file extension. So I don't need to put .java here. Just have Java and the file name. Press enter. And the output for this, it tells me the total area is 216 feet. And that's what I want, is I want the output of the total area of the room. And to go back, we wrote our program, we define a class, we have our main method in that class, we have members variable, we declare and initialize the variable, we use arithmetic operator to calculate the area of the room, and we want to bring down the variables that we previously declared for that calculation. Then we have a print out of the total area of that room. And so we would have the output at the end, and that concludes number 6 of CIS 18A Unit 1 assignment.